Oof. Oof. He's got 4 in his grave. Dirty dog. We're about to beast in though. It's a perfect timing for such an occasion. Right, saving it to make use of its second ability. Liliana is dead. He's down to 4. Hey everybody, welcome back. Thanks for taking the time to watch Hello Good Game. Today we are playing Gruul Midrange. Now this deck is crazy. We are climbing through platinum like a hot knife through butter. And now this deck is actually made by BCells25, who reached Mythic rank number 7 in July 2020. So just a couple days into the season, BCells has climbed straight to the top of the Mythic leaderboard with Gruul Midrange. This deck is crazy. It utilizes Terror of the Peaks, which is my new favorite card within Core Set 2021. As always, if you find any value within this video, go ahead and give me a thumbs up and share it to a friend. Today we're looking at the deck list, all of the individual cards, what do they do, and then we're going to move into the deck strategies and synergies. How do all of those individual cards work together to form a functional archetype? Next, we're into the gameplay footage for the day, where we break down different play lines and interactions within the new Core Set 2021 meta, just so you get a good idea of how to handle the deck against all of the other decks that you're going to see. Closing up, we're here with my final thoughts. Normally we look at deck upgrades, however this is a top ranked Mythic deck already, so there's no upgrades there. So we'll probably just have a little chat, a little bit of advertisement, and talk about our plans for the rest of the week. This is a best of 3 deck, so we're playing traditional standard. It has a sideboard. Let's get into it. Gruul Midrange starts out with 4 copies of Pelt Collector. This is a 1/1. Whenever another creature you control enters the battlefield or dies, if that creature's power is greater than Pelt Collector's, put a +1/+1 counter on Pelt Collector. As long as Pelt Collector has 3 or more +1/+1 counters on it, it also has Trample. Moving on to Robber of the Rich, our first 2-drop. This is a 2/2 with Reach and Haste. Whenever Robber of the Rich attacks, if defending player has more cards in hand than you, exile the top card of their library. During any turn you attacked with a rogue, you may cast that card, and you may spend mana as though it were mana of any color to cast that spell. 4 copies of Paradise Druid. Paradise Druid has hexproof as long as it's untapped, and we can tap it to add 1 mana of any color. The creature itself is a 2/1. 4 copies of Scavenging Ooze, a 2/2, in which we can pay 1 forest or green mana source. Exile target card from a graveyard. If it was a creature card, put a +1/+1 counter on Scavenging Ooze, and you gain 1 life. 3 copies of Domri's Ambush, a sorcery. Put a +1/+1 counter on target creature you control. Then that creature deals damage equal to its power to target creature or planeswalker you don't control. On to our 3-drops, but before we do, we also have Stomp. I want to mention this is our last 2-drop. Damage can't be prevented this turn. Stomp deals 2 damage to any target. Now this is an adventure tagged on to the 3-drop Bonecrusher Giant, which is a 4/3, and whenever Bonecrusher Giant becomes a target of a spell, Bonecrusher Giant deals 2 damage to that spell's controller. 3 copies of Radha, Heart of Keld. This is a 3/3, and as long as it's your turn, Radha, Heart of Keld has first strike. You may look at the top card of your library anytime. You may play lands from the top of your library. Mwah, perfecto. We can also pay 6. Radha gets +X/+X until end of turn, where X is the number of lands you control. On to our 4-drops. A single copy of Garruk Unleashed. This is a legendary planeswalker coming in with 4 loyalty counters, +1. Up to 1 target creature gets +3/+3 and gains Trample until end of turn. -2, create a 3/3 green beast creature token. Then if an opponent controls more creatures than you, put a loyalty counter on Garruk Unleashed. So potentially if your opponent has more creatures, it's just a -1. -7, you get an emblem with, at the beginning of your end step, you may search your library for a creature card, put it into the battlefield, then shuffle your library. It's a bummer because it's at the beginning of your end step, so haste doesn't matter, we won't get the attack in, but nonetheless, a free creature every turn, yeah. On to our 5-drop, or sorry, we're missing Questing Beast, our 4-drop here. This is a nuke of the deck as well. A 4/4 with Vigilance, Death Touch, Haste. Can't be blocked by creatures with power 2 or less. Combat damage can't be prevented. And whenever Questing Beast deals combat damage to an opponent, it deals that much damage to target planeswalker the opponent controls as well. 2 copies of Terror of the Peaks. This is a 5/4 with flying. Spells your opponent casts that target Terror of the Peaks cost 3 life to cast. And whenever another creature enters the battlefield under your control, Terror of the Peaks deals damage equal to that creature's power to any target. We also have 3 copies of Embercleave. This is a legendary artifact equipment with flash and costing 1 less to cast for each attacking creature we control. So we could trim it down to 2 potentially if we have 4 attackers. And then when Embercleave enters the battlefield, attach it to target creature you control, and equipped creature gets +1/+1, has double strike and trample. And then once it's on the field, we can re-equip it to something for 3, which is quite nice. These spells are accompanied by 1 Castle Embereth, pay 4, pump our creatures up by +1/+0. 6 Mountains, 1 Castle Garenbrig, pay 5, add 6 mana of green source. 8 Forests, 4 Stomping Grounds, and 4 Temple of Abaddon's to scry. I did mention we are playing traditional standard, which means best of 3, including a sideboard into the deck. 2 copies of Red Cat Melee, deals 4 damage to target creature or planeswalker. If a non-red permanent is dealt damage this way, you have to sacrifice a land, but it is at instant speed. 3 copies of Lava Coil, sorcery speed. Lava Coil deals 4 damage to target creature. If that creature would die this turn, exile it instead. Thrashing Brontoton times 3, 3/4 creature, pay 1, sacrifice it instant speed, destroy target artifact or enchantment. 1 God of Destiny, indestructible, 5/4. As long as your devotion to red and green is less than 7, it remains an enchantment and not a creature. And at the beginning of your pre-combat main phase, exile target card from a graveyard. If it was a land, you can add a red or green source. Otherwise, you gain 2 life, and Cloyth deals 2 damage to your opponent. 4 Shifting Ceratopses, can't be countered, protection from blue. It's a 5/4, in which we can pay 1 to give it trample, reach, or haste until end of turn. 2 copies of Vivien Monster's Advocate, another legendary planeswalker coming in, this time with 3 loyalty. Static ability, you may look at the top card of your library anytime. You may cast creature spells from the top of your library. +1, create a 3/3 green beast creature token, then put your choice of vigilance, reach, or trample on it. -2, when you cast your next creature spell this turn, search your library for a creature card with converted or lesser converted mana cost, and then put it into the battlefield, which is pretty disgusting, right? So there's the deck list, that's the sideboard. Let's begin to talk about the deck strategy. It is very similar to Gruul Ramp, but we want to really focus on the top end of it, right? And that is Terror of the Peaks, my new favorite card. Whenever another creature enters the battlefield under your control, Terror of the Peaks deals damage equal to that creature's power to any target. So we can play Questing Beast that comes in with haste, is going to attack immediately and deal 4 damage through the Terror. So it's just a very disgusting play. It also has flying, which is just straight up evasion. So you're getting around anyone that doesn't either have flying or reach, which is a fair percentage of the time. So that's our first thing that we want to talk about, is just how powerful Terror is, because he has invasion, right? It's a 5/4, which is a huge body. And whenever they need to deal with it, it's going to deal damage to them immediately, unless it's with Shatter of the Sky or something, right? Or an Elspeth Conquers Death, because it's not targeting it. Or when something enters the battlefield. So there's a lot of value within Terror. Example, him removing it, or us playing Questing Beast on top of our Heart of Keld, a Bonecrusher Giant. There's so many things that we can play just to hit our opponent. And because it is based off of a Gruul aggro deck formed into a Gruul midrange, we're going to be doing that damage early on. We're going to be doing damage with our Pelt Collector. We're going to be doing damage with our Robber of the Rich, right? And if we're lucky, we're doing damage with Heart of Keld, but we have chip damage with Bonecrusher Giant, right? So we should be able to get there. I know what you're saying. Well, we're not playing Uro. I want to deal 6 damage to my opponent, but don't worry, because the chip damage early on in game will support the dampered effect of not playing creatures with 6 power, right? 4 is as tough as we get. With that being said, put an Embercleave on anything, right? And then you'll win the game that way. So it's not totally reliant on Terror of the Peaks to win the matches like the Temur Ramp was. We do have things like Embercleave that can just win the game at any point. So we're combining early game chip damage, mid-game field presence, and then late game nukes. We do have removal, like I said, through Bonecrusher Giant. This can take out things like Priest of the Forgotten Gods. Domri's Ambush is really good as well, not only dealing with creatures, but planeswalkers. And then I want to mention Scavenging Ooze can take out things with Jumpstart, things with Flashback, Escape, Adventure. So there's a lot of things that Scavenging Ooze deals with very, very well. So this is a great card within the deck. Basically, eat your opponent's graveyard, gain life, make him big and strong. It's not uncommon to have a 5/5 Scavenging Ooze, so it does become a perfect target for your Embercleave to attach to, right? And that's just going to do an obscene amount of damage. Garruk will give our creatures trample. Obviously, I like putting trample on questing beasts. It's also great on the Heart of Keld, but it goes great anywhere. Embercleave goes great on everything. There is a downside to putting it on the Heart of Keld in the case that she already has first strike. Not double strike, but first strike. However, if we can two-turn it and put the cleave on and then the next turn buff it for 6, that's going to be a massive double strike. Like, absolutely nuclear there. She should be holding 2 Embercleaves. You know what I mean? I think that's generally the deck. Use your Robber of the Rich early to eat your opponent's cards off the top of the deck if he doesn't have field presence. If he does, save it. Play your bigger spells and get rid of the Summoning Sickness. Wait until after Shatter the Sky or something to then use your creatures with haste. That's the general deck list. Let's talk about the sideboard a little bit before we get into the gameplay footage. Take out what's bad, put in what's good, right? If he has no creatures, then you don't need to be removing them. Bonecrusher can probably go, for example. Nothing from the graveyard to deal with. Scavenging Ooze can probably go, for example. And then put in things that are good. Is it a blue control deck? Do you need Shifting Ceratops to take place of Questing Beasts, potentially, so it's not being countered? God of Destiny, if it's those longer matches where you need that chip damage, right? Thrashing Brontodon against the artifacts or enchantments, maybe a Wilderness Wreck. Lava Coil against maybe Aluris comes to mind, for example, right? Things that you don't want to come back from the graveyard. So there's a few different ways to go. And then Vivian, Monstrous Advocate, maybe again, if it is a control deck and you just want to flood the field with creatures. You're going to have to distinguish which sideboard plays are best for yourself in the current matchup. It is a lot to do a in-depth sideboard guide for you guys, just based on like 6 matches. But nonetheless, take out what's bad, put in what's good, and that'll get you there. That's it, you guys. That was the deck list and the deck strategy. A couple words before we get into today's gameplay footage. I'm live on YouTube every single morning, 4:45 a.m. PST, with a live premiere showcasing our latest content in real time with you in the community. Come say hello. After that, around 6 a.m. PST, we jump on to Twitch, or I think 7 a.m. PST, actually. We jump onto Twitch a little later, right after our YouTube premiere process. And then we stream there 3 to 4 hours, and then we're running the Discord all day long, so come engage there as well. Links for everything is in the description below. Can't wait to see you. Don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, share to a friend, hit that bell icon so you don't miss out on any of our other uploads. And yeah, enjoy today's gameplay footage. Don't forget to watch to the end so you don't miss out on our final thoughts. Take care, and I hope you guys all have a great day. This is a very aggro hand. We are coming in slow, but I don't think that's too much of a problem. Looking for our second mountain. There it is for our cleave. We can play our robber and just start eating away. Well, maybe not. Harbinger's nice. It outpaces us. Just go wide, play our cleave. We should have played one of our oozes, actually. He gets to draw here. Sucks. That's decent play. We're gonna need a little bit more than that. Questing Beast, Domri's Ambush, stuff like this. He's taking our creatures. We have to do that before he gets any more mana. We can Bone Crush for strike for a kill here. We're just in a creature war from the graveyard with our oozes. Does he double block? I mean, Embercleave stays on the field, and we have more robbers. And we get rid of his ooze when we have the superior ooze in play. Right? We have 2 more creatures to scooze out. It's something. Another Harbinger, that's fine. That's a big hit. We need more removal. Ooh. Lava Coil. Just nice easy sideboards here. Just putting in our lava coils. Kind of spreading the difference through our legendaries. It's nice to have Questing Beast really consistently, but there's no Planeswalkers, and it is a mono green deck, so it's going to be hard for him to hit. It's not just like a free 4/4, so without maybe a Domri's Ambush helping him out or something, he's going to have trouble getting in. This is nice. It's like a lot of ramp into our terror, and I kind of like that. Let's see how it plays out. The Lovestruck Beast does dodge our Lava Coil. Hopefully we draw a land this turn. Or next turn. This is perfect, yes. So we could go for 4. Let's let him tap his beast. We have Terror next turn. I should go take some ADHD medication. That's actually really good. He can minus his Questing Beast onto my Terror. Motherfucker. If he attacks 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 mana. If we can pull our 6th. It's a weird sitch. He needs to just trade with Questing Beast. And then we still clean up the Planeswalkers. Or he loses his 1/1s to save his Vivian. Or he can save his Garruk. It's up to him. It's like, which Planeswalker does he want to survive? Vivian dies, Garruk's down to 1.
Back to the woods.
We need more tears. We need more questing beasts. Just patiently waiting for our opponent to do his decision-making process. Are you serious? That's so busted.
I will survive you.
He can plus his 3/3 and then minus his Vivian. Or whatever. Stupid! Don't you dare kill my Pelt Collector. He will lose both his Planeswalkers though, if that's his decision.
Watch out.
What a dick.
Bite.
Better play defensively. Oh, he does. Alright, we're getting there. This 5/5's a dummy, can't do anything. Just as a defender. He goes in with his Garenbrig, that's frightening. Okay, sure. 4 mana left. Ooh, the Gem Razor is good. Especially with Vivian on the field. It's, yeah, a bit of a beast.
My, how you've grown.
Oh my lord. Let's try to win this on the play. We got close, admittedly. He slayed our terror. We want removal. Domri's ambush. Bonecrusher Giant. It's good land. That's kind of what we want as well. Right, just a turn 3 questing beast is very good. Let's take it. We want to try to kill his ooze. Alright. It's back-to-back smacks. With the one and only questing beast. That hurts. Ours is also bigger than his. Nah. There's the ooze. Maybe it can get bigger, right? Let's just go nice and wide. And then next turn we can all attack, and he'll have to block our beast, and then the others will do the lethal. Or at least get close. He's stuck spending all his mana on his ooze. And it can only go to a 4/4, which is underwhelming here, so. Plays his own beast. We kind of have to block this, don't we? We've still gone pretty wide. We need some more removal. Ooze can go up to 5, but he's not in a position to attack. And we can push up with 6, which is 4, 6 there, to give us +4. So we'll be a 7/7 with first strike, which is nice. He's got no mana. Let's just take the ooze while he has no mana. That's a big hit that he needs to block. Right, we go into range now with the Bonecrusher Giant. He's down to 2. Garruk might be too little too late.
I've got an axe to grind. My pack's always growing.
Yeah, that's game. We're gonna try just to buff our Keld up. Why not? It's fun. Very nice. Gruul aggro representing an M21. This is a slow hand, but it has cleave, it has removal, and it has our 2 favorite 2-drops. We're gonna need to pull some land off the top, though. That's all we're looking for at this point. A forest is perfect. We will need one more land, though, so it is just a start. Let's get Robert in play if he can. No tax. Keeping the reach open. I know, weird move, but he could have potentially had flash flyers there, and I wanted to shut that down. Because if we attacked and tapped, then we are open to a flash flyer and then one of the draw engines, right? Why not just keep his graveyard empty of instances and sorceries? Could be a Prowess deck. Doesn't necessarily need to be a Grixis control, but I think it is, question mark. So. Oh, an Extinction Event. That's great. He uses it very early, though. Is he running multiples? Alright, Beast is in. Narset's dead. We do have a backup as well, plus removal. So, I think we're positioned fairly well within this match. This is going to be the weird turn. Do we see a Bolas hit? He is the correct land. There's Bolas. Does Bolas minus on our beast? He does. Pelt Collector goes up. And we just embarrass him again. Oh my god. Gross. Questing Beast. So good. So, we could probably sub out a little bit of removal. Indestructible, we want to come in. Red Cat melee slays Nicol Bolas as well. Dropping our Bonecrusher Giant. He has removal. We know this sucks a lot. Alright, so it is Prowess. Okay. That's a 3/3 with flying. Alright, we see the eliminate. I don't mind. Get a land. That could be good. It is a red source as well, which he's not played. A land into our beast, baby. Oh no. Kills the collectors. Let's keep the beast on tap. We should have taken the drop before we did that, but it's just a land, so. We're okay. No harm, no foul. Down to 10. Right, getting rid of that Heartless Act. This is fine. Questing Beast goes straight through that. If we draw a land, Embercleave goes straight through it as well. I'll push Embercleave before Questing Beast. Actually, let's go straight in. Just overwhelm them. Playing first again. Yorion the Sky Nomad. Oof. It's a lot of lands. We have to mulligan this. This, on the other hand, looks very spicy. I think we're going to toss our cleavage. Just throw it around. And, let's take a closer look at Embercleave, right? Do you see all these other swords, being stuck into this rock? And then Embercleave remains immune to maybe its magnetic pull, I'm imagining. Keeping 6, tossing the Magnet Stone. And, well, by golly, we're going to play our Embereth first, just because we're not going to have it come in untapped later. There's no other mountain with our hand, so get it in play. There's one right there. This is a Scryland, though, so that's just as bad. We're going to risk it for the biscuit. Maybe we draw an untapped land next turn. If not, we can Ooze and Robber. But ideally, turn 3 Beast. Bleep, bloop, blop. Got him. It is just some Simic ramp here. So I'm okay with this. It must be Bant because he's got... Well, unless he's just using the blue. Let's see if he takes an island here or not. Or a plane, sorry. I would assume so. No, it's straight Simic. It's a big hit, right? And we pull a Growth Spiral, which is not the worst, right? At least it is instant speed, and we can draw, right? This is fine. I think this game's over. Ooh, he's got something. A Hydroid Crisis for 0. Nice. This is the kind of things that you run into in Platinum, I guess. We didn't really get to see so much. We know we need the Ooze for his Uro. We know he has blue, so let's take our Ceratops. And, we'll leak a couple things. Let's play it slow. We do draw, though, this turn, so... Ooze shuts down Uro right away, and we have Ceratops. I think we have to keep this. And then we pull a Beast as well, so this is looking good. No ramp, but the Ooze is fine. Hitting for 2. And now if he plays his Uro, we can easily deal with it next turn. Two Castle Garenbrigs. That's bad land. Plus this Enclave. He's going to take some islands here. He's lucky he got around that. That was very bad starting land. I guess. Hit for 5. Land on top. That'd be pretty cool. Simulacrum. 2/2, no threat. Plays a land, draws a card. Is he going to Ugin? We can kill his Simulacrum and then ooze it out. We may as well just take his Cultivate, whatever. Screw it. Let's get him. He's down to 3, and we do have a Questing Beast in hand, so I'm not too worried. No graveyard. Boreal Grazer. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Totally fine. Nissa is a little bit of a complication, but I think we can get around it. Right? Questing Beast saves the day here. Oh, and then he taps it for the Simulacrum, and neither of these creatures can block our Questing Beast, so that's a good game. You think he would have been thinking about that. Oh, and we played the wrong card. Doesn't matter. It's too strong. Whenever I see turn 3 Questing Beasts, my heart just grows, right? This is so good. Playing our Stomping Ground first. Our opponent was on the play, which is bad for us. And he hits counterspells. Interesting. Augur Bolus. I haven't seen this in forever. He's taking a little dig. Instant sorcery from the top 4 to his hand. Sorry, top 3. 1 less than Narset. I guess we're going to have to sack Paradise Druid and we won't have a turn 3 beast, but whatever. Might want to save it, I don't know. It is instant, but he should definitely be doing that now. Yeah. We ramp to 4 organically, so he does have removal, we know this. Let's just go for it. There's only going to be so much removal, and let's just eat our way through it. Just put our heads and smash it against the wall till it breaks. Oh, counterspells. I was expecting removal, but that works too. So we can basically assume that he has more counter magic here. He should counter it. I'm trying to get that lock spell out of his hand. So we can squeeze our ooze in. Baited! La 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 la! Let's keep our graveyard empty so he can't counter us. Eat to extinction. Nice. There's some of that removal we're talking about. All right. We've saved it. Hopefully it's been worth it. Perfect.
Run now, and I might.
Each player discards a card? Don't you dare. Okay, he -3.
Don't you just love the smell of death?
Still sucks.
Well, that was a waste.
It's a decent hit. Okay, main phase draw. Maybe we can pull a beast off the top. It's not the worst. He only has 1 mana. An opt. He eats our Domri's ambush instead of a creature. So we're taking his cards from his grave that he could use, right? This is way longer than we ever want a match to go. We're counting on an Embercleave. I don't think we need the life. I'd rather take that Liliana out in case he tries to reanimate it.
This was a wasted opportunity.
Alright, just getting rid of his defenders. Really? So I'm glad we put it on our Druid because it had hexproof, and he couldn't eat it. Let's keep hexproof on it. Nice. That sucks. We just used our Domri's ambush too.
Well, creeping, thieving progeny.
Questing beasts. Not quite. Ooh, Dirty Dog gets the counter on me. So I think that's game. Right? Basically choked out. We have no cards left. He's got very nice field presence. Maybe we can get an Embercleave off the top? I don't know. He's taking the draw here as well. Well, let's look at the scry. What would it have been? Okay, let's try to get this on the play. Kind of a weird sideboard, but what else do we do? It's going to be a long match. We've seen that it's not very an aggro-centric situation. He's got the counter spells and not a lot of kill commands. Alright, we have a turn 3 beast. If he makes us sacrifice our Paradise Druid, we're off to a bad start, just like last time. Could also have that Heartless Act ready. Right, when we play our beast. Yeah, we do have to sack. Let's just ensure we can drop our beast or our Ceratops. If he has mana open, we go Ceratops. Yeah. Can't be countered. He could Heartless Act it. That's fine, but whatever. Eat to Extinction as well. We're gonna try to go wide. We have our ambush to smash, and we also have our questing beast, so I think we're okay. We can also Embercleave. Do we Embercleave our Bonecrusher? So he's got a counterspell open. For 3. Can't be countered, he needs black removal. Double click on our Pelt Collector, I'm okay with that, baby. Whoa! Oof. Oof.
Every death is an opportunity.
He's got 4 in his grave. Dirty dog. We're about to beast in, though. It's a perfect timing. For such an occasion. Right? Saving it to make use of its second ability. Lilion is dead. He's down to 4.
Fine. I can see I'm not wanted.
Cleave and ambush in hand with another haste creature. I think we're good. Okay. So we lost the first match. We won the second. Let's try our best. I don't know. This is going to be tricky. He's been blessed by killing our Paradise Druid every time. I say we still keep it. When we're going second, we can't go slow. We don't really have that luxury. We just need to push. Push, push, push. We have ambush if it's anything. I'm going to try to force his play here. He's going to bounce something or destroy something. That's a nice hit. Down to 9. 7, really. It all comes down to this next play. He needs something, really. An extinction event doesn't even do it. Augur Bolus doesn't do it. We're going to try to spend his remaining mana on the end of his turn. Okay, so he just does it organically. We've got him in 4 turns chip damage. He'll have to exile that somehow. And it remains off the board. It's not a creature, so Eat to Extinction doesn't get it. And then he's spending his mana dealing with the God of Destiny, which opens up the board state for us. We pull a land, we can haste our Ceratops in. If not, we can rob or ambush. It's a nice hit. We pull a Thought Erasure, sure. He needs to block the Ceratops, or else the God of Destiny will kill him. Really? Down to 2? That's brave. Again, he needs to exile the God of Destiny and deal with our board presence all in one. Right? It's not a creature. It's not on the board state. It's an enchantment right now. Augur Bolus does nothing. We could kill him a couple different ways. Let's just get him the simplest though. Perfect sideboard play. Okay, guys, last match. Playing first, Lurrus of the Dream Den. Can go right away. So we hate that. I guess this hand works. There's no removal, and against Lurrus, we kind of really want that removal, but let's just try to aggro out the old-fashioned way. Robber in play. When we take his land, that could be worse. I don't mind taking land right at the start of the game. He's got his drop anyways, though. Cycling? Interesting. I have a card that I'd love to use against cycling. Let's keep pushing the robber agenda, though. And he can kill one of them. I don't mind trading with the rescuer. He doesn't have the mana to cycle right now, so it would just get rid of it. And then there's no 1/1s later on that are going to hold us up, so it's just a clean trade. We can eat the rescuer from the graveyard with our ooze as well. The stinger, that's fine. Let's get him.
I hope you're ready to fight for your life. Buckle under our might.
I don't mind having Garruk go down by 2. I'd rather just secure that 5 damage rather than 3 and get his chip damage off of the field. He's down to 7. We hit for 5 again this turn. I'm going to play the ooze and start eating his graveyard, though. It's getting up there, and he's at 4, so that's where our focus goes. However, this is nice. I really want to play Terror, but we're playing it smart. We're playing it conservative. And we're just going to eat this guy's graveyard.
Out of our way.
Those are big hits, and I'm not sure Zenith Flare will save him. It spends all of his mana, and he only gains 4 life. 5 life. So he could kill the Ooze. Yeah, okay. Go up to 9. That makes sense. Oh, actually, that doesn't work. We need mountains. Red sources of mana.
They're a stampede of one.
So we deal 3 damage next turn, confirmed. Probably just the rest of it. He needs to Zenith Flare us again. Can you imagine if he could just ride off Zenith Flares and win this match? That would be incredible. Yeah, I've not seen Cyclings in quite some time.
I like to think big.
Doesn't save him. Hey, Kirby. What you doing, Kirby? Uki. Cycling. God of Destiny exiles his graveyard for us. And we may need to deal with... Nah, we'll be fine. Let's drop a Terror. I'm kind of shifting our mana curve forward a little bit. Ooh, opponent goes first, but we've got a very curvable hand, right? There's not much room for error here. We need our 3rd land. If not, I mean, we'll make it work, but we really want that 3rd and 4th land. Okay, no Fox. That's the big thing. Land in slow, it's not the worst. We could just 3-drop instead. Could be worse, right? No blocks here. Taking 3 damage sucks. Yeah, and we get lucky. We're going right in with our beast. He's Vigilance, which is the key component here. It dodges his Go for Blood as well. And most importantly, none of his 1/1s can block it. So that's really nice because he's going to be making a lot of these 1/1s here. We're sitting on 4. If we draw an untapped land, we go straight with our Terror. This guy's doing a lot of work here, actually. This is a little bit frightening. 1 damage, that's fine. Oof, we're coming in slow. No, I want Domri's ambushes and stuff. Let's kill the Stinger. And I think the Beast can go in. I'd double, like, I would kill both those Rescuers. If he double blocks, I'm fine with that. I mean, it stalks his graveyard with cycling, but not overly concerned. No blocks. We do have our Terror of the Peaks to drop here. So he really needs to start hammering us. I don't think Castle Embereth's required. I'd rather drop Questing Beast, right? To deal that damage from Terror. We can cleave it as well for 12. There's the first flare. Okay. Okay, okay. We shouldn't have played a land yet. That's my bad. We're going to push this damage race. We're starting a little slow. He's at 18. We're still at 7. Let's see what we can do. We dealt with a flare, and he's at lethal with a second. Probably actually should have went in on with the Bonecrusher Giant here. We can survive next turn though. Right? If he doesn't just have that flare in pocket, we're going to be fine. Much more than fine. Hopefully we draw the Beast, play a land from underneath it. So he's got a couple chances to draw the card here. The card, right? And this will be his last one. He needs to play a land and then cast it. But I'm thinking it's going to be Lurrus. Ooh, another healer. Instead of cycling more. Interesting. One, 2, 4, 7, 8. It costs 6. Let's see where it gets us. Math is way too hard for me to do. He needs to, like, everything block the Heart of Keld here. Yeah, that's not going to do. We have plenty of land to buff this up, and it has double strike, so that is going to be maybe a little mishap in judgment for our opponent. Goodness gracious. That's a big hit, boys. Woo! Goodbye, cycling. Have fun. Toodaloo. Alright, Gruul Midrange, absolute beast. I'm probably going to play this deck for the rest of the day. I've lost very few matches with it, and the matches I have lost have been for particular reasons, like being landlocked, things like this, right? So let me know what you think of the deck in the comments below, you guys. I'd really be interested in your thoughts. Are you interested in seeing more Gruul? Have you had enough of it now, right? What kind of archetypes are you interested in seeing? Definitely let me know, and I'll get to those as soon as I can. Thank you guys for your time and attention. You're all amazing. I really appreciate it. We'll see you all tomorrow. Those of you supporting the channel, you're incredible. Make sure to integrate your Discord with the platform that you support me on to get your goodies, your benefits, right? And yeah, most importantly, don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, share to a friend, hit the bell icon, and come back tomorrow and do it all again. All right, guys, take care. Peace.